welcome to our post-game show. I'm Cienna Peloton, joined here by Greg Salas. Quite an interesting game we got.
Heartbreaking, I think, if there's a word to describe it. It was started off great.
Yeah.
I think we all saw that. Everybody, the house was rocking. It was an awesome atmosphere today, but heartbroken, I think, is the key word here, because you saw the opportunity to win a big game against a Power 5 opponent.
National television.
And then it just slipped away there at the end. So I'm sure we'll get into that a little bit here.
Yeah, so we can talk a little bit about what happened in that game. It was kind of a tale of two halves, like we said earlier. And so the first quarter especially, I mean, things were just going Hawaii's way. A lot of flags and stuff here and there, but a lot of good play calls, including a fake punt early on.
Oh, yeah, wow.
How did that kind of like change the game, you think?
Well, I definitely think the momentum was on our side after that. I mean, the fake punt was, masterfully called. They were trying to get back into coverage. We obviously took advantage of that, and Lucas Burrow just absolutely crushed it. He's a superstar, I think, in my mind right now. He's kind of leading the way. But that was an amazing thing that happened. Also, they really got the intermediate and short game passing working early and often. I think Shager opened up like 6 for 6. He was rocking and rolling, and then obviously able to hit Pofele on the crossing route and score a touchdown early on to just get this place going. But obviously things kind of slowed down in the second half. Defense played really, really well.
They did their job. Majority of the game, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, they got some great turnovers in key moments. The interceptions, anytime you're getting interceptions and turning the ball over, especially in the red zone, that was huge to keep the momentum, and not let them go into the half with some extra momentum. And then obviously at the end, we had the nice big pick, almost got into the end zone, and then wasn't quite able to punch it in, but settled for a field goal right there before the half. Obviously things were just clicking for us at that time. You kind of felt like this is our time, and then the second half, we didn't make the adjustments that we needed to make. Yeah,
and so one thing you brought up was play calling. I think that was a lot of people here. I heard a lot on the field. What's going on with the play calling? First half, it was a lot, like you said, dink and dunks. Shager went 6 for 6 out of the first drive, and then it kind of turned into second half, maybe a lot of handoffs, and maybe the connections weren't so good. So what do you think the play calling, like, could they have made adjustments? You think in the fourth quarter? I think that's when they needed it the most.
Yeah, you'd like to see them stick with what was working. I think obviously UCLA, they're a really good team as well. They're going to make adjustments at halftime, but we have to do the same thing, right? We have to make those adjustments at halftime. But we saw the intermediate, UCLA wasn't really, I thought they might come out and be a little bit more aggressive. You tend to see that sometimes with teams that, quote unquote, Power 5 teams that have athletes.
They're the Big Ten now.
That feel like they can push you around, that they can guard you with their receivers, and they think they have better athletes with you. I thought our skill position players played amazing on defense of the side of the ball too. Those guys were really getting after the ball. Peter was just getting downfield. He looked like a missile coming in there. Almost reminds you of Leonard Peters a little bit with the hair flowing. But our defensive backs were making really great plays on the ball. We were skill position wise. I thought we were playing excellent with them. For whatever reason in the second half, I think things got a little bit more conservative. We're playing with a lead, but you'd like to see them keep their foot on the pedal. There's definitely going to be some learning opportunities from them.
Yeah, I mean, it was, like we said earlier, really a tale of two halves. It was kind of heartbreaking to see because, man, that first half, like the momentum was going, the crowd was into it. It was so hot out here.
Oh my goodness,
it was so hot, and everyone was into it. The energy was high. The guys on the sidelines were cheering, and so after halftime, UCLA immediately scores. That changed the entire game. I mean, I saw some empty pockets in the stands. It got kind of quiet. And so I think UH and just in general needs to, it's like 4 quarters.
Yeah.
It's start to finish.
It's kind of a shame because on the deep pass that they hit early on, right over Peter, they were in great position. They had a safety and a corner playing deep. They're in position. He breaks to the corner and then breaks it back to the post. He's right there to make the play. The defense was called perfectly for it. The guy just made a little bit better play than us, and Peter might have got a little lackadaisical and let him get behind him because he maybe thought he was breaking to the corner. But if you make that play, they don't score so quickly, and maybe the momentum isn't shifted so much. But it's just a heartbreaking game because these boys played hard. They played great.
They did.
And then to not come out with the win when you're leading 75% of the game it's tough. That's a heartbreaking loss.
And I mean, they did play great. We have some of their highlights here early on. That Shager to Pofele touchdown kind of got things started, got it rolling here. Let's take a look.
Yeah, this is just a great crossing route. You'll see the X and the Z right here, the cross. Look at, they touch hands. He sits it down, and then all of a sudden
There
he gets it up
to
the second. He sees green grass right there. He didn't stop. He saw it wide open, so he turned it upfield, which is awesome for Pofele to see that, and awesome for Braden to see that. And you'll see this right here. He'll just keep going, and then he sees, oh, I have green grass up there. No one's up there. I'm just going to take it and score a touchdown.
My question is, how did he get so open? Did UCLA, was there missed coverage or something?
Well, it's a crossing route here. You're going to see the Z on the top. He's probably going to run a clear out route, so you're looking to hit him coming out the backside. So they could have hit him out sooner. For whatever reason, he hit him a little late, but Pofele just turns it upfield. He saw the green grass there, and that's what you want to see.
Yeah.
You have the ability to, if you see green grass, you run to green grass.
Yes.
And that's what he did right here. He got open, he turned it up, and then a little pump fake that worked out great. And we're all celebrating right there, and that was just a big moment in the game.
Yeah,
I think we all thought right here, at least you can see he's 5 for 5 at this point.
Yeah,
and,
I mean, another big moment was the fake punt that nobody expected. Did you see that coming?
No, not at all. You know, I was waiting for this guy to do another 80-yard field goal, 80-yard punt, and then all of a sudden I see him taking off. I was like, what is happening over here? And then you see what the outcome here. Amazing. This guy has just been playing his tail off all game long. You can see him flipping field position for us, which is huge.
Yeah.
It's so huge. You know, maybe everybody doesn't understand the field position game within the game, but obviously here he's able to use his feet and get a big first down. I want to know if this was a called fake punt or if he just saw it.
Thinking.
That's because he looked like he's ready to punt. He's ready to punt. Hesitating. Wait. Oh, okay.
And there it goes.
We're running.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking too, because I was immediately going to be like, wow, shout out to Coach Sheffield for drawing this up. But who knows if man just said, you know, we're on national television, let's just go for it.
Yeah, because this is going to be really difficult because I don't even know how you would be able to practice for this because they don't have any game field on UCLA. They didn't play last week. So I can understand if you're doing the scouting report early in the week and you're watching this and then you see this happening. They get out way too soon. They leave the whole field open. But, you know, that's why what makes me question if this wasn't just off the cuff.
Yeah. And it looks like we have a couple of fan comments here. People are asking about Shager. You know, he went down a couple of times, took some big hits. People are wondering, is he okay? Obviously, we don't know what's going on, but there were times where the stadium was silent.
Yeah, I'm sure Shager is going to be sore waking up tomorrow. Once the adrenaline wears off, I was really nervous about the first time he went down with his foot. You can see it on the replay. Didn't look good, and you can see he was gingerly walking after that. But he took a lot of big hits.
Yeah,
sometimes he can avoid those. Other times, obviously, he's fighting. He's trying to make big plays and staying in the pocket. But yeah, he's definitely going to be hurting tomorrow for sure.
Yeah, but overall, his line blocked very well for him, I would say.
I don't think we got pushed around at all.
Yeah.
I think defensive line played their tails off. They didn't get, you know, usually when you play these Power 5 schools, that's where you see the differentiation. There's the bigger players, those big guys up front, the defensive guys who can really get after the quarterback. We played well. We held our own on all fronts. So that's why it's heartbreaking because we had it. And then, you know, didn't stay pedal to the metal at the end.
No, and I mean, we gave our offense some love. Let's give the defense some love as well. They came up big. Here we got Jalen Smith's pick.
Oh, this is huge.
The first quarter.
This is beyond huge. You know, they're going in right here trying to tie up the game, and for him to stick with this play the whole time and get the pick in the end zone, you know, saving points. They don't even get 3 here. That's a huge swing. And obviously UCLA, they're going to have some things to clean up.
Yeah, I mean, to get shut out in the first half, now, I mean, they're a Big Ten school. That's just not going to work anymore.
No, that's not a recipe for success for them. But again, our defense was playing lights out. They were swarming. They did an excellent job. This was just huge to keep us momentum rolling. And this is where you felt in this game like, this is our time. Like, these are the types of plays you make in big-time games. To swing things your way.
Yeah, I mean, another big one, Logan Taylor.
Yeah, we'll get
he
that
had
one.
A pick. Yeah, let's show you that as well.
Oh, and another huge one. Obviously, going into the second half, these guys are trying to score points. I thought we had a safety right here.
That's what I thought too.
And then I was like, oh, he got rid of it. And then he throws it. I'm like, oh! Yes. I think we were all screaming at this point here. I wish he would have gone in because then we're up 14-0.
Well, and I'm glad you mentioned that because after a pick like this, it's so great. Everyone's celebrating. But we got 3 points out of that instead of 7.
Yeah, you know, look, I think what he end up on the 4-yard line here, the 5-yard line. Yeah, you know, the run play on first down. I thought we were going to go 3 shots in the end zone automatic. You know, there was only 20 seconds left on the clock. You had plenty of time to run plays, even if they were a little bit of a shorter pass, but you know, they went with the run right off the bat, which is okay if it works. I think we went backwards, which you know, I think at the end of the day, Lucas Bora was our leading rusher today with 19 yards. So that is not a good sign when your punter is the leading rusher. But obviously, this was another huge play in the game. Defense was swarming. They were making plays, getting turnovers, and in any game, you know, if you can win the turnover battle, you're going to give yourself a shot. But you know, I think Shager had a few ones that he would like to have back.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, I think the defense played a hell of a game, and I love the fact that they're on third downs, and it's not showing here. The defensive line was walking around.
Yeah.
They weren't showing it. They were stunting. They didn't know who the pressure was coming from or where it was coming from, and that's because they were playing good down and distances. They had them in third and long situations, and it was a beautiful thing to see. But obviously, didn't get the W.
Yeah. And so it looks like here in our chat, Nicholas is asking, well, he mentioning that Shager got his ankle wrapped in the second quarter, and that kind of changed the game. I think that had a lot to do with the play calling.
It could, you know, anytime your star player is getting hurt, it could be. But then again, I saw Shager take off and have a huge stiff arm on a guy. I mean, that had the whole crowd rocking. But yeah, you definitely are going to favor that. If something like that is happening to your star quarterback, you want to take care of them. Maybe that's why they ran a little bit more in the second half. You know, there's a lot of things that go into the flow of the game. But I hope Shager's okay. He's definitely going to be sore next week.
Yeah, and it looks like James here, or Vanalog, is asking what our outlook is on the season after today's game.
You know what? I don't think the outlook has changed at all. I think we've shown we can play with really talented teams. UCLA is going to have a talented roster. They're a Big Ten team. They're going to be nationally televised, you know, maybe all of their games, right? This is a team. I saw them on the sidelines. The skill players, they were huge. Everyone was, it was a good looking team. You know, when you're up front and you see these guys, it's like, wow. Okay, yeah. I can't believe I used to play with some of these guys, but these dudes were good, right? And so anytime you see, you know, a team like that, our team held their own. They did well. I don't think this is going to change anything for the outlook of our season. I think if anything,
it makes it better, right?
I think they're going to understand, like, they should stay in the games. They're going to be a lot better games.
Hi, James.
Hey, James. How's it going, James?
Did they win? We did not win. Hawaii did not win this game.
Wait, hold on. Let me check my notes. James. No,
you should go back and watch it. It is a very entertaining game. As a Hawaii fan, you're probably going to get hurt at the end, but you should watch it.
Yeah, just watch the first half, and we won if we stop there.
For the Hawaii fans watching this, and for me personally, I think this actually it's a more positive outlook. Obviously, you always want to win. But seeing that they can hang with UCLA, like you said, these guys are huge. I saw them, I was like, wow. Yeah. And so the fact that they could hang with them, not only just hang, they dominated them in the first half.
For the first half, it was a domination. It was a total UH was in control. Yes. This has got to be a confidence builder, but it's also just heartbreaking because that's the one you expect to win. Yeah, after the way they performed, you want to get the win out of that.
Yeah, and we were getting some great questions. If anyone else has anything else they'd like to say. Oh, they're great recap. They're complimenting us.
Oh, so there we go.
Thank
James, barbecue chicken. I love barbecue chicken.
It was nice to also have Hawaii out here. You know, just all these national media seeing Hawaii on the big stage. The atmosphere was rocking.
It was a great atmosphere today.
Put Hawaii on the map.
I mean, I think we showed well. I'm going to keep going back to it because we played so well to not get the W, and that's what's heartbreaking for these guys. It could have been a staple win for us against a Big Ten opponent, and something Timmy Chang could hang his hat on immediately. But you know, we're on to Sam Houston next week. Yep. And we'll be on the road.
Yeah.
And
so what do you think that game plan's looking like? I mean, obviously we don't know much about them, but just in general, what do you think Coach Timmy's telling them throughout this week?
I mean, they're seeing a glimpse of it, right? They're seeing the run and shoot work.
Yes.
It worked for you know, a couple of drives at a time. It's going to be the consistency now. They got to get it down where less drop balls. We're getting those catch and run opportunities, because when we were doing those things, and that's what we typically do in the run and shoot, we were moving the ball extremely well. So we're going to have another shot at it next week. That's a beautiful thing. We get to put this one behind us. It's going to sting for the next 24 hours. But, you know, I think Sam Houston's going to have their hands full with us coming into town.
Definitely. They're going to watch this tape, and I would be scared.
I'm scared, yeah.
Yeah. So the next home game is September 21st, and it's actually disco night.
Disco night?
Yeah, so I don't know what I'm going to wear, but I have couple weeks to start shopping, and they play Northern Iowa.
I got some bell bottoms.
You're gonna wear bell bottoms?
I'll do something. Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Figure
I
it
think
out.
it's disco night.
Yeah.
September 21st. So yeah, I mean, if anyone has any other comments they'd like to ask. The defense played really hard. Yes, Nicholas.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen those guys. The one thing I would say too about some of the plays was some of the personal foul penalties in the beginning.
Let's talk about it.
You gotta nip that in the butt.
Yeah.
You gotta nip that in the butt because it only hurts us. So there's a couple times it didn't hurt us in that situation because we were able to still get the shot in the first half. But you can't have those. Those are plays that are preventable, and they're only going to catch the second person. Everybody talks about it. It doesn't matter who did it first. That person is not going to get caught. They're going to catch the person retaliating, and the guys got to know that it's not worth it. You're giving them 15 yards for free. You know, so I know the coaches are probably, pulling their hair out, screaming at these kids, but they'll watch the tape. They'll watch the tape. They'll clean it up. There's going to be a lot to learn from this. I think they should be proud of the way they performed. They like to pull it out in the end, but
obviously
we'll be on to the next one.
But yeah, this is truly a great game.
So Nicholas is asking, Greg, who on the team most reminds you of how you and Polaris used to be? You were your age level.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Nicholas is a fan of Greg here.
Oh, thank you, Nicholas. Hey, I appreciate the love there. I don't know. I don't know if there's someone that reminds me really of myself or KP. K-Law was so dynamic. I mean, the guy was built like a running back, huge thighs, huge calves, can catch everything, can run. So there's not, that's just like asking somebody like, how did I compare to Devon Best or Ryan Grice-Mullins? We all were different styles. I think Pofele kind of reminds I think he's a bigger slot, and so is Senecal. They're bigger guys, right?
Yeah.
They're not the typical run and shoot guys. And we saw, I had a lot of success here being a bigger slot that was quick and can get in and out and read defense as well. So I think Pofele, if anything, kind of reminds me of some of those old, I call myself old already, older school guys.
You
that
said it, not me.
Kind of accustomed to. But yeah, you would like to see some of the outside guys get a little bit more involved, like Jonah and and Perry, and make some of those difficult catches.
I was surprised we didn't see too much of Jonah tonight.
Yeah, I think they need to work on some of those difficult catches. If they can start making some of those, the confidence is going to go sky high, and they're going to, obviously, Pofele, I think he had over 100 yards, 9 catches, 112 yards, so obviously he's doing something right.
Yeah. So, I think it was overall, I think we're all going to go home and be pretty sad. The drive home is going to be pretty sad, but...
Might listen to a breakup song or two,
It hurts. It stings. It stings.
Yeah.
But I think this season's going to look bright.
Yeah, I think my outlook on the season is still, we have a great opportunity to become bowl eligible.
Yeah.
Obviously, the games count that are in conference.
Yes.
These are still not in conference games, but again, could have been a big time win here at home in front of a sellout crowd here at TC Ching Stadium, but we're going to move on to the next one.
Next week, and then we will see you guys on September 21st, Disco Night. So if you are attending the game, please dress up. And we'd like to thank our sponsor, Hawaiian Financial Federal Credit Union, for sponsoring this post-game show. For Greg Salas and Cienna Pilotin, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys.